Welcome to Blind City. I had to lose my sight to find my vision.
Are you blind? Are you blind? Open your eyes. They lying every time, so I don't trust men, only trust God. I had to lose my sight before I could see the light.
Welcome to Blind City. See, Blind City is a condition. Crime, racism, and poverty. We have to put the word neighbor back into hood. I had over 31 surgeries and lost my sight and fight to glaucoma. I tried killing myself 3 times in one day, and I was unsuccessful. And then I heard a voice tell me, use your weakness as a strength to inspire and create awareness through Blind City, the podcast. I will address the issues that are plaguing our society, like poor education, that are turning our broken neighborhoods into the breeding grounds for prisons, bootleg preachers, crooked politicians that have my people dancing like strippers in the community. Let's talk about it, or we can flip tables like Jesus. Welcome to Blind City. This is Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets. And like I said before, the most dangerous man in the world is a blind man with a handgun. Welcome to Blind City, the podcast.com. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. I had to lose my sight to find my vision. And it's a lot of you out there with sight, with no vision. Ain't that right, Mr. Sims? Triple OG is back.
Yes.
I see it's a lot of black radio talk shows think we're in competition with them.
We're not in competition.
You got that right. Plus, we don't come on that early in the morning. Only people up that early is nursing homes and people on hospice. We don't have time for that
monkey business.
We out here trying to complete people, not compete with people, Triple OG. Why do people go to the rodeo, Triple OG?
To see the clowns in the booth.
You got that right. Why do people go to the circus, Triple OG?
See the clowns and the monkeys.
You got that right. We have another spectacular show tonight. Coming live, she's joining our team. Lit Lovely Lisa, coming straight out of Memphis. And we're going to talk about the Young Dolph murder suspect being caught. A lot of black rappers have been murdered these last 2 months. Black on black crime. We got to do something about it. People want to sweep it under the rug, but we're going to talk about it. And we're going to find out what's going on in Memphis, what their community is doing about this crime and the Young Dolph murder suspect. So we'll be right back. Blind City, the podcast.com.
Now to a top story. The search continues tonight for the man Memphis police and U.S. Marshals say is responsible for rapper Young Dolph's death.
Oh, we first showed you Justin Johnson's picture as breaking news last night at 5. But tonight, we're looking into his violent past.
23-year-old Justin Johnson is wanted for first-degree murder. Memphis police say Johnson is responsible for gunning down rapper Young Dolph on November 17th.
Welcome back to Blind City, the podcast.com. Like I said before, 2022, we're taking it nationwide. You'll be able to see Blind City, the podcast, in Atlanta, People's TV Inc., Channel 24, Chicago Access Network, Channel 19. I told you, we not playing this year. My special guest, my correspondent, she will be joining us on Blind City, the podcast, to let us know what's going on down there in Memphis, a hotbed for rappers. I mean, they got, oh man, a legendary city. Lit Lovely Lisa, how you doing?
What's up, Blind? I'm excited to be here. Shout outs to Blind City, you guys. Y'all blowing up the internet, you did. My name is Lit Lovely Lisa from Lit Lovely Lisa TV here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm excited to be here.
Tell the people when your show comes on down in Memphis.
My show comes on every Wednesday night, 7:30 Central Standard Time. Every Wednesday night, Comcast Channel 17, Memphis.
Let's talk about it. Man, they caught Young Dolph murder suspect.
Yes, they did. Man, it was a blessing. Like I said, it's amazing. I'm just waiting to see how things is going to be, how it's
And
going to turn out, because each day, we learn different evidence and, different things come out about the murder. So, like I said, now since the killer's been caught, oh man, once the police start putting them shackles on, go start singing like a hummingbird. You did.
so you went down to the funeral, to Young Dolph's funeral, and you told me you talked with Key Glock, you talked with some of the family members down there for the
Right.
moment. Can you talk more about that experience? What did Key Glock have to say?
He didn't really have much to say. All he was saying was his experiences with Dolph. Like I said, everybody was so emotional, everybody was hurt, but at the same time, it was a celebration. So it was a whole lot of mixed emotions going on within, the funeral.
So how are the streets doing right now in Memphis? I'm hearing rumors it might be a war with the north side and south side of Memphis. How is the community doing? How is there any healing going on in Memphis with the citizens down there?
Certain situations, but nothing has changed really in Memphis. It's a whole lot of crime, whole lot of people still dying. So, like I said, for the wars between North and South or whatever, everything is still continuing on like it normally is. This is not new to Memphis.
Yeah, and a lot of people I talk from Memphis, just that passion in that city for that man.
Right.
Yes. Well, that's what we're gonna talk about when Dr. Ajuma join us after your episode. We got to find some solutions with this black men killing black men. It's no outrage. It's like people keep sweeping it under the rug. Nobody really wants to talk about it. It's like it's taboo, but it's been haunting us for years. And they say, well, what's wrong with the youth? What's wrong with the youth? Let me say this, man. Ain't nothing wrong with the youth. Our generation failed them. Tupac and Biggie got killed during my generation, and we saw the gangs coming into the rap game back then, and we didn't do nothing to stop it.
Right.
They just picked it up and ran with it. So the youth ain't got nothing. You can't blame nothing on the youth. You got to look at the elders before that generation. We fumbled the ball.
Right. It's easy to find trouble, and it's twice as hard to get out of. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you're young, you just up and do stuff. You just do unspeakable things, but you don't think about the consequences. And I think that's a lot of what's going on.
Well, it's hard to think about the consequences when you don't have no guidance and you just out there like a stray dog. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, what you say?
Yes, but you're right. That's true. But like I said, if everybody else is trying to do their part or whatever, it takes a team. It takes a team. It takes a village, for these kids, because sometimes the parents drop the ball. We don't stand up as a people, in our communities, as a people. We need to stick together. You know what I'm saying? You see a child out there doing wrong, we need big sisters. We need mentors. Stop a child from doing, all these crazy things, what they doing. And like I said, some of them are going through different issues, mentally. And, out here, living arrangements, they have a whole lot to think about due to, the living arrangements of their household. So, like I said, blind is just a very, very touchy situation. And like I said, it's just time for us to step up.
Well, I definitely agree with you, but it's hard to step up when they keep trying to destroy the nuclear family. And they did this with the welfare system, keeping the man out the house. The government has been doing this to our people for years. Let's tell the truth, And now, they keeping the man out the house. You got women dating women thinking they can raise a man, raise kids. They done totally took the man out of commission, man. And I raise my flag in the ground right now. I am a heterosexual. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a gynecologist. I love women. Wait a minute. Let me say something. Because everybody waving a flag out there. But I stand for the nuclear family, the original God's plan. Right. And I ain't scared to say it because I ain't got no sponsors. God is my sponsor. So I can say it. I ain't got to put on the mucky suit. I speak the real. I support the original God plan. The nuclear family. If we don't get back together with a man and woman in the household, or a man and woman being cordial to raise their children, we're doomed.
That's a fact. I agree. I'm heterosexual as well. And like I said, that's what I said. The righteous gonna always come on. It's gonna always, main superior.
You got to have man and woman cordial. Whether they get along, to go along, you got to raise these kids. But all this other stuff that's going on, this goofiness, all this going on, I'm hearing about, and I'm blind, but I'm hearing about it. But I had sight. I know what's going on. I'm hearing what's going on. Everybody waving their flag, but I'm standing on the original God's plan. Man and woman in the household raising their children. I stand on the nuclear family because, like I say, God is my sponsor. I don't have to put on the monkey suit. You hear me? But I'm going to leave you with that. Lit, lovely Lisa, you will be joining us during the 3rd season of Blind City, the podcast. I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about Memphis, and we got to get together. I'm going to come down on Bill Street, and we can get something to eat. I can't see it, but I can feel the energy down there, and I love it.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to see you and finally meet you in person. And you definitely got to come down because, Lit Lovely Lisa TV, baby, I got to get you on the show as well. So, it's a hand wash hand things. And, we got to get around and we got to link up with some of these people down here. Like I said, it's been a pleasure, Blind City, for inviting Lit Lovely Lisa TV. So it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. And like I say, you see me, but I don't see you. We'll be right back. BlindCityThePodcast.com. What I used to tell the kids in juvenile detention when I had my sight, I said, you're going to wait all day if you're waiting for life to adjust to you.
How do they deal with peer pressure? How do they deal with peer acceptance? How do they deal with personal direction? Every child is one decision away from throwing their life away.
Please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City the Podcast.
BlindCityThePodcast.com. Very, very great discussion. What's going on out here in these communities across America, especially in the black community. White people, go get you a soft drink and some popcorn and relax. And listen what's going on and what we're dealing with in our community. I got the legendary Keywan inside the city from the St. Lunatics. How you doing, bruh?
I'm peaceful, man. How you doing? I'm maintaining with structure.
Oh, blessing blind, using my disability as a strength. And I'm glad to have him back. Dr. Ajuma, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, my brother. I'm honored to be here. By God's grace, hopefully I can say something that will inspire and enlighten my community. So I'm here ready to rock and roll.
Speaking of enlightening the community, all of us are aware with the murders that have been taking place in our communities. A lot of rappers have been falling dead in the last several months. It seems like we don't have no conflict resolution skills. It seems like the answer is death. From an argument, even on rap records, when they make a diss towards each other. Back in my day, they kept the battle on the records. But now it seems like a lot of these young boys and men are taking it personal, and they got to do something to you. Dr. Ajuma, you want to elaborate on this, what's going on? I know we've been talking about hip-hop for years through your mentoring classes back in the day. What you have to say about all this?
Well, there's a lot to say about it, and I don't think time really adequately allows us to really get real deep in it, but it has so many different subcategories to it. I want to start off by first saying, number one, we live in a very violent culture. America is a violent culture. It was founded on violence. And so it has permeated throughout America. If you turn on your television, you're going to see violence 24/7, 365. And it's been glorified in such a way now that it entices people to want to watch it or be a part of it, or at some point it becomes their reality. So it's in the music, it's in the television, it's in the school systems, it's in the community. We live in a very, very violent culture. And now since the proliferation of young people buying AR-15, which is an assault weapon a military grade weapon that's now being used in urban communities throughout America. And then there's another piece to this thing. Crime pays. I'll never forget that I was at a workshop maybe 20, 25 years ago, and I was one of those people, a guy, he asked the question, he said, how many people think crime pay or crime doesn't pay? So I raised my hand. He elaborated on it, and he talked about all the different institutions that benefit from a single crime, from a crime that's committed in the community. You call 911, you call a police dispatcher, she gets paid, the police get paid, the chiefs, the sergeant, the lieutenants, the captains. Then we talk about the jails, the people, the contractors who build the jails, the people who build the steel beams, the surveillance systems. It just goes on and on and on, from the judges to the prosecuting attorneys. So crime really does pay. And then since we're talking about the Black community, now we're talking about young men who have life sentences who are there providing free labor for the state to benefit from, and they're outsourcing different products all over the world. Now they have free labor. So it's modernized slavery advanced in the modern times. So it's so many different directions that you can talk about this. And then at some point too, we as Black folks, we have to be accountable for our own misdeeds. You know, there's a thing in the community about not snitching. Well, at some point you're going to become victimized by the same perpetrators perpetrating in our community. And so we can't just blame society. We have to take ownership. We have to also look at these other systems that are impacting us as well.
Well, they are snitching today. That internet solved this case. I've never seen so many men gossip on the internet in my life. I thought women were the gossipers, but the men on the internet, oh man. Like I said, hey, the women are the pimps and the men are the hoes now. Keywan.
What's going on, man?
Let's talk about it, man. This is an industry you have been in, you participated in, you've been successful in. I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
I think a lot of us are dying because of embarrassment. We don't like to be embarrassed. See, when you used to have a fight, it was around the corner, 3 people seen it. Now you have a fight, it's on World Star, it's on. Everybody has an opinion about what happened to you. It is personal. They created to be personal now because everybody's hitting you like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And you know how when you're young and you say, I wish he would do that to me. If he do it to me, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? We don't know we don't know the ending of what I'm gonna kill you means. You know what I'm saying? It's just normal language. You know, to like snitch is now normal language. It's like, who drank the Kool-Aid? He did. Why you snitching on me? They 5 years old using the word snitch, and that's a criminal word. So snitching, we need to revamp what the definition of snitching is. You know, if I'm doing a crime with you, and I get caught, I don't tell on you. But when it comes to you riding by and you shooting my grandma's house up, he had a blue car with a red hat with some sunglasses on. His license plate was 344543. Now you come back around to the problem of, after I say that, you finna send him some paperwork to say that I told him that. You can't protect me from a killer. You gonna come after he killed me. Police come after it happens. So who's gonna protect me for even telling that my grandma just got shot? When it comes to young dog, it's like we supposed to be. If we gonna use the internet for the good, we supposed to catch him. It ain't snitching. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Gossip. That's what it feels like, that word. You know what I'm saying? Because it's none of your business, right? But it is our business. We can't keep saying he part of the community then say it's not our business. It's our business. It's everybody's business who liked him. So it's 340 million people that likes him and said, why did you kill him? Why did you kill Nipsey? Why did you do this? You know, if you walking around, but we talking that talk. You know what I'm saying? Labels don't even sign you no more if you don't have a court date already pending.
Oh. Say that again.
You don't see people get signed because of everybody got a court date pending.
Dr. Juma, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it, and it's very disheartening to hear. I think what we have to understand, and I want to just kind of take it to, and appreciate your remarks, Keywan. I want to just kind of catapult it to a whole different level. We live in a capitalistic society. Everything is about business here in America. And what we have to understand is the hidden hand in the music industry that says this is the kind of music that we want and this is the kind of music that we don't want. So when you talk about positive music, they're not embracing that. They won't, as Kiwan just said, unless you have a court date, we're not going to sign you. So they know exactly what they're doing. This is not a conspiracy theory. And the crazy thing is, this music is intrinsic. We started to listen to it on a daily basis, and then we started to manifest it, not understanding that the person who's making this music just trying to make them some money. They're just trying to make a living, you know, but they're not seeing the hidden hand in the industry who wants to promote this kind of music. So, you know, it's a double standard. It's a double-edged sword, and we got to see it for what it's worth. It's business, and we just happen to be collateral damage in the midst of all of this, if this makes sense to you.
Exactly.
And what's funny, when you look around at the other musical genres, it's only happening to us. How they social engineering us from the community and even through the music industry. And another thing, we go so hard on us. We killers when it comes against the same person that look like you. But when other people coming into the community and harm us, where's that same energy?
That's slavery. What you mean? It'd be one horse, it'd be 100 slaves.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
That come from, you know, it's like when the police come. We'll shoot out at each other. Police come, we running. That's just our vibe. You know what I'm saying? But we are going, your environment is your environment. So when they say that, they put it in our brain too. When you say black killing black, it's like, that's where I live. So the more crime's going to be there. White are killing whites in their own community too, because that's who I be around every day. So that's why I'm having a dispute with. Our dispute's going too far though. Over nothing. That's the whole point, because we don't care. Like, people not caring. Then when you're dealing with artists who the most powerful people in the world, they the most powerful 2 years after they started. So how long do it take you to change? After you went to college, how long do it take you to change? 8 years, 10 years, you know what I'm saying? So you want somebody to change while they're hot. They're not going to change while they're hot. It's like 1 out of 10 that's going to do that. It'd be a little baby. It'd be you know what I'm saying? But they still going to talk that street language. You know what I'm saying? They still going to bring that too. When we was moving and grooving, people try to outdo us in a different manner because we didn't talk about that as much. So people would say, I got more money than you, or I got more girls than you, because that's the vibe that we brought out. They didn't say, I'm more street than you. Like, look at the vibes. Like, we had girls in the front row. You know what I'm saying? If you go to another person, they're going to have dudes in it. Like, that's just the vibe that we wanted. We created that. We were street too, but we knew the vibe that we wanted to create. We wanted Oprah to say our name. We wanted, you know what I'm saying? We thought bigger. So a bigger company is signing. They won't sign you because your name is this or won't do this, because they thinking bigger. They thinking Nabisco. They thinking the other corporate type of style. But the people is more street going on right now, because for one, that's what the kids do. And we repeating it and don't know a word about what we repeat. So we putting that energy, like he said, we putting that energy out there in the world. Like, what is my mama saying? I shoot you in your face when I ride down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just repeating it. She ain't even tripping that she straight up done sold dope and done shot 10 people while she was singing that verse back. She ain't even tripping. And she my mama. So this the first time that a grandmother and the grandchild is listening to the same music as well.
If I could jump in for a second, he's spot on. And what we have to understand is we're pawns in the game. The music that is played out today is so demonstrative, it's so degenerative, and it literally robs you of your soul. I've been blessed to go to 50 different countries throughout the world, and nowhere in the world do they play music like the music that they play here in America. The music around the world has a very soothing, upbeat, liberating force to it. See, music is a science. It has vibrational energy, and it can impact your soul, your mind, and your body. All of that, you see? And so when you look at people around the world, that music is completely different. Then you come to America, you wonder why you have violence. And it's not just the music, it's a lot of systemic forces that speak to where we are today. But the music plays a vital role. The video games play a vital role. Television programming plays a vital role. You know, Carter G. Woodson said, when you want to control a man's mind, you control his behavior. You don't have to tell him to go to the back door, for he will automatically go without being told. So when you control a man's mind, you automatically control his behavior. So we've got to create a different paradigm shift in our head. As you spoke about so eloquently not too long ago, we got to get back to the nuclear family. We got to turn off the tell lie vision and start to have more family discussions, family dinners, spiritual time. You don't have to go to church. Have a spiritual reference point within your home. Talk about God. Make God the center of your life. As it stands now, the majority of our kids spend most of their time playing video games and texting on cell phones. How can we grow? How can we be liberated as a people when, this is how we spend the majority of our time? It's not going to happen.
You're exactly right. We're going to come right back. Great dialogue. But, social media, that's the devil's playground, man. That's the devil's playground. If you got more followers than you got money in the bank, you hustling backwards. You is really hustling backwards. Blind City, the podcast.com.
Hey, y'all, this is Tashara Jones, mayor of the city of St. Louis, and I listen to the Blind City, the podcast.
Thank you, Mayor Miss Jones. You got to clean up this mess. Drugs and guns all over the place. Over 200 girls missing out of Berkeley, Missouri, and there's no outrage. Check us out tonight, Sunday nights after midnight. And don't fall asleep. You better stay woke in these streets. ABC 30. BlindCityThePodcast.com.
Langford Cunningham is really an inspiration.
Mr. Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. It's headed up by a guy named Langford Cunningham. He had to lose his sight to find his vision.
Welcome to Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets.
Everybody got their ops, everybody got their enemies, but for real, now you don't even got to worry about your enemy. It be, the closest around you.
No, this is real. We getting shot by police. We getting stereotyped.
We didn't get a proper investigation. Well, definitely, I think it's a bunch of
Your car got shot up, right?
Yeah, he struck the bullet.
Yeah, you from the hood.
They just passed a law where you can give a kid a gun without the parents' permission.
Wait a minute, they can do what? We got people in power that's not really for the people. They think the people work for them. You work for the people.
We got to talk about the disparities in our community.
Check out Blind City, the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or go to blindcitythepodcast.com. blindcitythepodcast.com. Great dialogue. So I'd like to thank my guest, Kiwan. Thank you for coming by the city. We're going to have you throughout the year as well, man, because we definitely got to talk more of what you got going on as well. Dr. Juma, thank you again, my brother.
Always a pleasure, brother. I'm always a phone call away. And Kiwan, congratulations, good luck, and best wishes, my brother. Keep making a difference.
Definitely.
And empower somebody.
Definitely. I'm going to find you.
And let me say this to the people of the city. BlindCityThePodcast.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check your TV guide. Check your social media. And learn something from this show. And like I said before, don't take life so serious. We're all not getting out alive. BlindCityThePodcast.com.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City the Podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.
BlindCityThePodcast.com.